There's been a change in the capital city. Little Rock has a new team that is looking to win a Sun Belt Conference championship and shine their dancing shoes for the NCAA tournament in March. Little Rock also has a new face to lead their team. His name is Chris Beard, the new head coach of the Little Rock Trojans. And this is the Chris Beard Show with host Gary Hogan. The Chris Beard Show is brought to you by Bale Chevrolet, The Butcher Shop, Hangers Cleaners, Glazers Distributors of Arkansas, and 8 of their fine products. We encourage you to look for these beverages when shopping and urge you to drink responsibly. And Coach Beard's wardrobe provided by Dillard's Department Stores. Here with Gary Hogan is the head coach of the Little Rock Trojans, Chris Beard.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to the Chris Beard Show here on the CW. Coach, you had a great week. The last one was a little tough, and we're going to show some highlights and everything. But as I've said earlier on when we started this show, let's talk about you a little bit. We know you had 10 years, 8 with Bobby Knight, 2 with Pat Knight. Where'd you go after that before you went to Angelo?
Yeah, after my great time at Texas Tech, I had a unique opportunity to coach a professional basketball team in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and really improved as a coach that year, coaching really good players. In fact, had one of the great Little Rock greats, John Fowler, played on our pro team for a couple of months, and it was a great experience. I also had a couple of great college jobs, McMurray University in Abilene, Texas, and of course Angelo State in San Angelo, and very appreciative of those opportunities, and had some great teams and some great players.
Let me tell you about Angelo State. When you got this job, and Sean Johnston, he was your AD, was the sports information director for me when I was coaching baseball from 85 to 96. And he said, let me tell you about the guy you got. And I said, tell me. He said, before he got here, we won 7 games. 7 games. He gets here, we win 20, and then 23. And then you come to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
A lot of good players. You know, I don't think there's anything necessarily that I did personally, but you know, the common thing when you turn around a program is you got to have talented players that buy in, and that's certainly been the case here at Little Rock. You know, I'm really proud of our players, not only for their individual talents, but how they're playing as a team. Still got a lot of season left, but they've shown the ability to really be a good team to this point. Well,
we talked last week about how you brought in some great kids, and as the shows go on, we'll probably have them on. Like we've got Jermaine Rutley on today interviewing Coach Berg. We'll have that in another segment. But we have to talk about first the win over Louisiana Lafayette. They were picked to win the league, and they had the big guy Long, and he got his. Now we've got some highlights. Let's take a look and see those highlights, and we'll bring them to you right here. Tell us about this ball game.
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough night. You know, we got a lot of respect for Louisiana's program. They were picked to win the league for a reason. Sean Long, as you mentioned, is a bona fide NBA player. As a matter of fact, I got 4 or 5 calls from NBA people that week in preparation, just asking our opinion of him. And he was as good as advertised. But give our players a lot of credit. You know, we spread the floor. We did a lot of good things offensively. There's lists with a big finish late in the game. Again, it's impossible to stop a guy like Sean Long, but I thought we picked and chose our moments and did a good job playing team basketball.
You guys, from what Coach Adams told me, went right at him a little bit. You know, he's good. He can score. He got, 16 points, 11 rebounds, I think. But they said you wanted to attack him a little.
No question. I think whenever you play against a great player, you've got to make that player play on both ends. And I think a mistake would be with a guy like Sean Long to just avoid him on offense. You've got to make him play defense. And I thought our guys really bought into the game plan. That's another key thing with our early success here is how our players have really bought in and they've been executing the game plans. You know, I've talked before about the confidence that I have in our coaching staff, one of the best staffs I've ever worked with Wes, Brian, and Mark, and Ted, and Max, and John, and those guys. But give our players the credit because they're the ones that are executing what we see set up each game. And that was certainly the case this week. Playing against a tough Louisiana team, the game plan was executed.
I thought you warmed down. You played 11 people. And it's amazing. You got folks, if you haven't come out to the Jack Stevens Center, you need to. We play Appalachian State tomorrow night. Game time, 5:15 for the women. The men follow 30 minutes after that game's over. And if you're not there, you're missing something. This is something special. We know we got a lot of season to go, but right now it's very, very special. So please, call 565-UALR. LRTrojans.com. Get some tickets. I know we had some rainy weather on Thursday and Saturday, but tonight's going to be a great night, so please make a trip out there. But you'll watch Coach Beard run in, 10 guys, and I mean it. You got your left hook. I'll refer to boxing. You got your 5 starters. You got your, they're throwing a 1-2 combination at you, and then all of a sudden Marcus Johnson comes over. Guy drops his right hand, and over the left hook he comes, and he hits a 3, and he gets you going.
No, the identity of our team has been our depth. As a matter of fact, in all my years of college basketball, this is the deepest team I've ever coached. We literally have 14 players every day in practice that play well and that we trust. We've been playing around a 10 or 11 man rotation this year, and what's really exciting, and I think probably great for the fans to watch as well, is you never know on any given night who's going to step up. Like in our last game, Mo Isom, I think, makes the big shots. The game before, it might have been Reese, and so we're a real team. We take a lot of pride in that, and going forward, that's definitely going to be, our key to any kind of success we have here down the stretch is going to be the ability to play a lot of players.
Well, let's talk about Monroe a little bit. That game, I had a heart attack. I was sitting at the scores table the last couple minutes, and I'm telling you, and we'll see all this here in a second, but the ball sat on the rim on one of the tips, and I thought it was going in.
Yeah, to have a kind of season, you've got to win games in different ways, and we knew that Monroe game was going to be very difficult. They're a very disciplined team. I told our players in preparation that week, there's been some games this year where I felt like we've just out-disciplined teams, but that was not going to be the case against Louisiana Monroe. If you want to win this game, fellas, you're going to have to go win it because they're not going to give it to you.
Let's go to the tape.
That was certainly the case.
We'll take a look at it. Here it is.
Offensively, you got to hit shots against good teams like Monroe, and we made just enough early to kind of keep them honest. There's Marcus with a 3 and List with a pullback, Josh with a drive. A good thing about our offense this year is we're scoring in a variety of ways. But give Monroe a lot of credit. They're very difficult to play against. They're well coached. I was just really pleased. It was a big week for us. We basically played Louisiana, who was picked to win the league, and Monroe, who was picked second in our league. Maybe the best 2 players in the league, Sean Long and Ding for Monroe. So we passed the test this week.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to come back, and there's the finish of the highlights. But it's unbelievable. We're going to have the shot at the end of the game. It's coming up. Watch this.
Yeah, we did a good job pressuring the last shot. We did not do a good job with finishing the possession with a rebound. So
we got it when the light went off.
No question. But give our guys credit. In this game we scored 4 of our last 5 possessions on offense.
Yeah.
And so I've never thought personally the game comes down to the last possession. Each possession is equal. I think in this game there was 85 offensive possessions and 86 defensive possessions.
Wow.
And all of those are equally important. But certainly we got a little lucky there at the end, and I'll take it. I'm not complaining.
No, you're not. All right, we've got to take a break. Stay right where you are. We come back with the player interviews and some social media. And plus, at the end of the show, I've got one of his guys that can dance. So stay right where you are.
You've seen the vans. Now here's the deal. Hangers Cleaners provides free pickup and delivery to your home or office twice a week. That's right, free delivery. Sign up now to save 20% on your first 2 months of cleaning. Hangers, to your door, won't cost a penny more.
I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. When you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, let us make the process easy for you. We're the largest GM certified pre-owned dealer in Central Arkansas with every make and model imaginable. And we also have a huge selection of brand new Chevrolets, the most awarded brand with the top satisfaction ratings in the industry. Plus, every vehicle we sell comes with our exclusive free oil change for life program. Stop by Bell Chevrolet in the heart of West Little Rock and let us show you the Bell difference. Bell Chevrolet, find new roads.
Okay, so it's a little off the beaten path, but the Butcher Shop is definitely worth the find, and your taste buds will agree. Choose one of the Butcher Shop's thick cuts of lean steak and cook it yourself. Watch it sizzle over the open flames on the grill, or let their chef cook it for you. Either way, it'll be the most taste-tempting steak in town. The Butcher Shop has other delicious menu items too, including chicken, salad, pasta, and more. The Butcher Shop, we're a lot more than just great steaks.
It's so real, it's cold here. No fees for comfort, it's so weird. Let music bring back the soul, yeah. Love all people, inspire me, Love all people, inspire growth, yeah.
You've seen the vans. Now here's the deal. Hangers Cleaners provides free pickup and delivery to your home or office twice a week. That's right, free delivery. Sign up now to save 20% on your first 2 months of cleaning. Hangers, to your door, won't cost a penny more.
Hopefully you just joined us. This is Coach Chris Beard, head coach of the men's basketball team at Little Rock. And we just showed some highlights of Louisiana and Monroe. We had 2 wins last week. We're 14-1, 4-0 in the league. And got Appalachian State tomorrow night out at the Jack Stevens Center. We'll get to that in a second. But I talked about Jermaine Rutley earlier, and we've had let the players do a little something, interview other players or maybe assistant coaches. So tonight we're going to show you Jermaine Rutley interviewing Brian Berg, one of your assistants. This ought to be interesting because then they get to ask what they want to.
2 of my favorite people.
All right.
Glad to work with Brian, and Jermaine's one of the favorite players I've ever coached.
All right. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hey, my name is Jermaine Rutley, and I'm from Radcliffe, Kentucky. I'm a senior guard here at Little Rock University, and I'm here with Coach Brian Berg. What's up, Coach? How you been, man?
Good, Jermaine. How are you?
I got a few questions I want to ask you, man. Where you from?
Well, Jermaine, I originally grew up in Houston, Texas, but over the last 12 years, I've kind of lived all over the country, from West Texas, Iowa, Kansas, Tennessee, and last 6 years in North Carolina.
So you're pretty used to the basketball stuff, like traveling and stuff like that. So, like, what made you get into coaching? Like, why did you want to get into it?
Well, I think to get into coaching, I wanted to impact young kids' lives. It's way more than just basketball. Hopefully, after you're here at Arkansas Little Rock, you're going to be able to have the life skills to be unbelievable, a successful person in life, and you're well on your way. I can already see it.
I appreciate it. Coach, what were some of the colleges you coached at?
Well, I coached at Middle Tennessee State. That's where I started off in Division I. Then I moved on to Campbell University. Then from Campbell University, I went to North Carolina Central and spent the last 2 years at North Carolina Central.
Okay.
But with that being said, I also spent time at high school, Benton Community High School, and in Iowa. Lake Erie College, Division III school. It's kind of the common thing amongst all our staff. We've kind of coached at all different levels and started from the bottom and worked our way up.
Oh, that's what's up. At NC Central, last year I know I played you when I was at FAMU. I got a question. Why y'all beat us like that?
We expect greatness and we demand it every single day, and that's what took place.
That's crazy, man. Y'all had to beat us like that, though. Like, man, it's cool.
But we're glad you're here at Little Rock. I know we're enjoying the season and hopefully keep it rolling.
All right, yes, sir. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, Jermaine Rutley, Brian Berg. Every time I look at Berg, he's out in the hall with a phone in his ear, recruiting.
Yeah, Brian's one of the most respected coaches in the country. We were very fortunate to have him on the staff. I've known him from a long time. I met him when he was a high school basketball player, and I've always had a vision of hooking up with him one day, but he's a special person. Not only is he a great recruiter, he's a good coach. He can do both. I think he's a future head coach very, very soon, and we're fortunate to have him here, and we're just using his talents as much as we can every day.
All right. Next thing we have going on this show is our trivia question, and we should see it here. The social media question is, what do you look for in a recruit? Corey Hafner sent that in via Facebook, and I'll talk about how to do that, which is facebook.com/LR Trojans. So what's your answer to that one?
Well, we're obviously in a business of talent. You got to get guys that can play Division I basketball, but specifically with the basketball, we value skilled players. Because with our motion offense, we like guys that can dribble, pass, shoot, do a little bit of everything. So that's something, one of the first questions that always comes up in our recruiting meetings, how skilled he is. And then, maybe more important than even talent is a kid's character. And again, one of the key reasons why we're having some early success this year is, and you know this, Coach, we got great guys. We just saw Jermaine there. We saw Josh on last week's show. We just got really high character people, and that's how you win. I mean, talent can win some games, but character and teamwork is what wins championships, and that's certainly our objective here at Little Rock. We want to be a team that plays meaningful games in the month of March, and this year's team has a chance to do that, and I think primarily because of their unselfishness and their character.
We normally answer that trivia question after the break, but we've got something special. We're going to show you some highlights of who we're playing tomorrow night, Appalachian State. Then we skip till Monday and play Arkansas State. We'll be right back.
What's this?
Chardonnay party.
How the hell and I know? She brings a sledgehammer to a thumbtack. She brings a flamethrower to a bonfire.
She brings beer to a Chardonnay party. A lot of metaphors when I get it.
As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
So, what are your names?
My name is Papier.
And I am Plastique.
Miss? Miss? Excuse me, miss. Paper plastic, miss. Paper plastic.
Pinnacle, the original whipped vodka. Now available in cherry, chocolate, and orange whipped.
Okay, so it's a little off the beaten path, but the butcher shop is definitely worth the find, and your taste buds will agree. Choose one of the butcher shop's thick cuts of lean steak and cook it yourself. Watch it sizzle over the open flames on the grill, or let their chef cook it for you. Either way, it'll be the most taste-tempting steak in town. The butcher shop has other delicious menu items too, including chicken, salad, pasta, and more. The butcher shop, we're a lot more than just great steaks.
You feel it in your heart. The spirit of Little Rock. We've had that spirit since 1927, helping build our city by producing decades of leaders in the heart of our state. We are the heart of business and innovation, the heart of politics and government, the heart of arts and culture, and in our city beats the heart of a Trojan. UALR. We are Little Rock's team and Little Rock's University.
Love these things. Hilarious. I'm sorry. Force of habit.
As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
Okay, we answered that social media question. I like to do it after the break, but I decided I wanted to save some time in this break for some other things. Again, if you have a question, send it to facebook.com/LR Trojans.
Do you personally check that Facebook account, Coach?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I let Patrick Newton do that. You know I'm social media traumatized.
I love hearing you talk about Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. All right, two big games. Appalachian State tomorrow night, and that's going to be a good game. They're all good games, and you can't overlook anybody. And I know Appalachian State's down towards. We'll see the Sun Belt standings later, but it doesn't make any difference. Anybody can beat anybody on a given night.
No, Appalachian State has our complete respect and complete attention. You know, they're playing their best basketball of the season right now. They had a great week last week at home, came up a little short in the win-loss column, but played great basketball against UT Arlington, maybe the hottest team in our conference right now, and then just had a big win against Texas State by over 20 points. So they have one of, if not the best guard in the conference in Eads, a kid that can just score it at will, had a couple 30-point games already this season. So I'm getting nervous sitting here talking about Appalachian State. We're going to have to play very well to have a chance to win this one.
Well, I'll let you get a little more nervous. We've got some highlights of Appalachian State.
Okay.
You can tell us about them.
No, they're very explosive offensively. I mentioned their guard Eads. They've got skilled players in every position. Little Rock fans will understand how good Texas State is and has been, and to beat them by 20 points, that's like a 40-point win against somebody else, the way Texas State plays defense. But it's going to be a tough guard. We're going to have to guard them on the perimeter. We're going to have to guard them inside, and we're going to have to figure out a way to manufacture points. It's not going to be a game where we're going to be able to win with 50 or 60 points on offense. So it's going to be a very challenging game. Our players understand that, and we've been working really hard at this game this week.
Well, tomorrow night, we're at the Jack Stevens Center. Folks, please remember this. Tomorrow night, 5:15, Joe Foley's women go, and then 30 minutes after that game is over, the men go. Get your tickets. Call 565-UALR. Go to lrtrojans.com. We'd love to see you at the Jack Stevens Center. If you haven't been out there, it's a great place to watch basketball. There's not a bad seat in the house. You get in as low as $7. So come on, show up, show some support. We need you. All right. We vary from the schedule a little bit. No Saturday game, and we're going to go play, and I haven't figured the schedule makers out on this because ASU is our biggest rival, and we're playing them on a Monday night, and then we'll finish up the season. One of our second to last game is against them at our place. So Don't ask me why. Couldn't be somebody else. It's, when their fans could travel, or ours could travel. So anyway, I'm just complaining and moaning, I guess. But let's watch some highlights of ASU. They've been playing well. They've been a big surprise so far this year.
Yeah, I've had a chance to watch them several times, even though I haven't started preparing for this game yet because I've watched them play common opponents. But certainly Coach Brady, his career stands for itself. He's announced that this is his last year. And I think what happens in those situations a lot can be two things. Teams can kind of go the other direction, or they can really bond around their coach in a situation and play inspiring basketball. And in my opinion, that's what Arkansas State's doing. They tend to be playing real loose on offense, but yet focused as a team. And I think it's a credit to their coaching staff that how well they're playing right now. And I think they're certainly going to be a factor in the race.
This Livingston kid's pretty good, huh?
Pro. Yeah, pro. There's a lot of really good players in the Sun Belt this year, and I've had a lot of friends ask me about coming to games. And not only do you get to see a good Little Rock team this year, I'm proud of our guys, but the quality of opponent that's coming in to the Stevens Center this year is like every night there's a pro, and that'll certainly be the case as the season goes on.
All right, let's take a look at the Sun Belt standings. This is important, obviously. We always look at these things. I'm a fan, and everybody else is a fan. And you take things, especially the overall record at 14-1. We're 4-0 in the conference. Arkansas State's 4-0. UT Arlington's 3-0. They've played one less game, and that'll be made up. But I'm just saying that we've got good people.
A lot of balance this year. I literally think that probably 5 or 6 teams are going to compete for the championship. And probably every team in the league this year is going to have an opportunity to win the tournament in New Orleans. And we know the key is with our players is to continue to get better. And that's really been our message and theme this week in practice. And I thought we got a little better last week because of the competition we played. And this week's going to be certainly challenging too with Appalachian State and Arkansas State. But we have respect for everybody on our schedule. We understand that it's early in the season, but I look for our team to continue to improve as the year goes on.
One of the most important things people forget that you have to win the tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. You have got to win the Sun Belt.
Well, I mean, that's normally been the formula, but I think when you control your non-conference schedule like we did,
right,
going 10-1 or 11-1.
Those quality wins will help.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting, but I think the Sun Belt Conference has been a 2-bid league in the past.
Yep.
And I don't think there's any reason why it can't get to that. I mean, there's good basketball in our conference, so
yep,
I pay attention and respect history, but I also have a vision for our program where we can get this thing rolling, where we can make the tournament on years where we don't win the league as well.
And UT Arlington helped our conference with wins at Ohio State and I think Texas El Paso. Is that correct?
Yeah, and they beat Memphis and lost to Texas on the road in overtime. So a lot of marquee wins. Not only Arlington and us, but other teams in our league had good wins in the non-conference. So the league is good, and it's good basketball, and people that know basketball know that.
Okay. There's something that I want to get to, and I've been looking forward to for a couple of days, is John Trilley is one of your ops guys, along with Max LaFarve, who, by the way, cuts our highlights and really does a great job. Those highlights that we see are Max is doing, and he's done a great job, does everything I need him to do. And then you have, of course, Teddy Crass, who is really a special assistant to you more than anything, and I think that guy's going to be head coach someday.
Yeah, there's not one thing in our program that Ted's not involved in. He's, and I say this very confidently. I mean, Ted Crass is one of the hardest working, most passionate people I've ever been around, and he's been a real asset to our coaching staff, and he's got a great career in college basketball.
That's good, and he's a great guy too to begin with. All right. John Trilley, you worked for John Trilley's dad at North Texas when you were an assistant, right? And you know John, so I think his father now is a AD in Kansas, somewhere at a small school.
That's accurate.
Okay. Well, John went to a wedding here, I guess over the summer, and somebody captured some video of him. And I'm getting older in my career now, and I have to start looking for some other things, and maybe being an agent might not be a bad idea for this guy. Let's go to the tape and watch John Trilley dance. And if this is not the next white Michael Jackson, I don't know who is.
Hey, John's a multi-talented person, obviously.
I hope the music's up so you can hear him.
One of the first things we try to do in recruiting is to see if a player or their family, somebody likes Michael Jackson in the family, because we have a direct in here. So I'm not sure what to say here. I'm normally not lost for words, Coach, but this.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah, no. We've actually got John in charge of a lot of our footwork drills, and I don't know, I might need to reevaluate that.
I'm telling you, he's good. That's really good.
John's a single guy here in Little Rock. I'm not sure if this is going to hurt or help, but boy, this is going to hit social media today, Coach.
Oh boy. Well, you know,
you've opened up a can of worms here, Coach.
Yeah, well,
what's next?
I try to open up some worms every once in a while. You know, it's just something else. He was real hesitant about giving me that disc. Remember that? I should say. I see, I'm back in the old age. She gave me the flash drive. I had to talk to him 2 or 3 times for him to get it to Patrick Newton to get to me, and finally, he came up and just gave it to me because he knew I would hound him until I got it.
Yeah, John's a real asset to our coaching staff. Does a lot of the stuff in the office, the administrative work, and he was a great on-the-floor coach at Midwestern State. Made 8 NCAA tournaments, I believe, as a player and coach. And so it was a huge steal for us to get him on the staff this spring, and he's got a great future in college basketball as well.
You know, everybody on that staff that you have knows about winning, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's really simple when you get down to it. You surround yourself with good players and good coaches, and great things happen.
We're out of time. See you next week, Wednesday night. Thank you for watching.
The Chris Beard Show has been brought to you by Bale Chevrolet, The Butcher Shop, Hangers Cleaners, Glazers Distributors of Arkansas, and 8 of their fine products. We encourage you to look for these beverages when shopping and urge you to drink responsibly. And Coach Beard's wardrobe is provided by Dillard's Department Stores.
Squire? What beer may I fetch you, my lord?
I'll have a Red's Apple Ale.
And perhaps a wrench?
No, a wrench. A wrench.
Red's Apple Ale. Also,
I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. When you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, let us make the process easy for you. We're the largest GM certified pre-owned dealer in Central Arkansas with every make and model imaginable. And we also have a huge selection of brand new Chevrolets, the most awarded brand with the top satisfaction ratings in the industry. Plus, every vehicle we sell comes with our exclusive free oil change for life program. Stop by Bell Chevrolet in the heart of West Little Rock and let us show you the Bell difference. Bell Chevrolet, find new roads.
As bourbon ages, some of it evaporates. That's the angel's share. But a richer bourbon stays trapped in the wood. We've made history by extracting it. Devil's Cut from Jim Beam.
Hey there, Tiny. What beer we drinking?
I don't know, boss. What about that Red's Apple Ale?
You're a genius, Tiny. This applesauce is the bee's knees.
The cat's pajamas.
It's you right in the kisser.
Red's Apple Ale. Also in strawberry and green apple.